What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the World Cup wrap-up, episode 5. Big night of games. We'll get saucy in and we can get started on Group G and H games that happened overnight. Some good ones. We got to see Ronaldo finally, which was good. Saucy's got a few things to talk about with you. Too impressed about. And here he comes. The big fella. Here he is.
What's going on, mates?
What are you wearing, a Germany top?
Nah, mate. Got the Arsenal, mate. Got to represent. We're top of the league, mate. All I'm hoping for this World Cup is that none of our players get injured. They all get through scathed, perfectly fine, and out the other side so we can resume our good form come the end of the World Cup.
Definitely. I was just saying we had Group G and H games overnight. I think we'll go straight through the Group G games first. So we had Switzerland and Cameroon. Switzerland 1-0 winners in that one. Did you catch any of this sauce? Obviously, your boy,
Yep. Watched the whole game.
Xhaka.
Yeah, watched the whole game. Look, not really impressed with Switzerland. They did just enough to beat Cameroon. Cameroon had chances in the first half. Probably should have had a goal. Probably had the best chance of the first half, in my opinion, and probably should have had a goal and could have potentially been up at half time. But you know, as the age-old saying, you don't take your chances, and it comes back to bite you, and that's what happened. You know, and then they got caught napping early on in that second half. Mbolo was able to get through, and it was a good finish. And look, Switzerland did enough. It's not convincing. I tell you what, that Swiss side won't be going too far. You know, it wasn't convincing at all. I think they lack a bit of creativity, if you ask me. And you know, when they come up against the better sides, they are going to struggle.
You did say if they're still picking a guy like Xherdan Shaqiri, they're struggling a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's a good win. The tail of the tape, they were very, very close in terms of all the stats. I did catch the 25-minute mini-match, and the opportunity you were talking about was literally on a silver plate. And it was cocked up. But Choupo-Moting is playing great football at the moment.
Yeah, he was dangerous.
For Cameroon. So every time he got near it, it looked like he was creating or causing problems for Switzerland. So I'm actually keen to see what could happen there, because that's a very, very difficult group with Switzerland, Cameroon and Serbia all fighting for that second spot. We'll get to the other game in Group G, and I'm pretty sure this team is not going to have any other troubles with Switzerland and Cameroon. That is Brazil, who off a slow first half came out and hammered Serbia in the second half, and 2-0 is probably not a true reflection of how many goals they could have scored in this game.
Yeah, look, I think maybe the coach gave him a bit of a rev up at halftime and said, guys, what are you doing? Like, go out there and actually start playing the football that we know we can play. And it was, it was clinical in the second half. I mean, freaking, they couldn't get near the ball, could Serbia? I mean, they didn't create much in the first half, don't get me wrong, right? But same with Brazil. They didn't really create too much. But then after halftime, Brazil came out just absolutely dominant. Serbia couldn't even, get a cross into the box. That's how, stifling the Brazilian midfielders were in pinching the ball. And the pressure from the guys up front was brilliant. And, yeah, look, it was clinical. Brazil looked really, really strong. I mean, the way they moved the ball. So, so many guys on there with flair. My boy Vinny Jr., he was unbelievable. I mean, he set up pretty much both goals. Taking that strike on goal, and then it fell to Richarlison, and then he put that cross in for Richarlison, which he had a lot of work to do, did Richarlison on the second one, and boy, was it a cracking finish. That was, let me tell you, he's wearing the Brazilian number 9, and I'll tell you what, there was another bloke who used to wear Brazilian number 9, and he used to finish like that. I'll tell you that. And his name was Ronaldo. I'm not saying that Richarlison is some sort of player close to Ronaldo, but it was Ronaldo-esque, that finish. It was brilliant. And look, I'm so confident that Brazil is going to win this World Cup. I could be wrong, but just after seeing that and the way they were just able to flick a switch and turn the gears, and when they went up one goal, they sat in and they played a bit on the counter. Then they went up the second goal, and you expect, all right, shut up shop, 2 goals up. No, they were looking for that third goal, and they probably should have had a third goal. Let's be honest, but once again, they didn't take the chances, but still got the win, 2-0, comfortable over Serbia. Bit disappointing with Serbia. I'm a bit dumbfounded as to why they didn't start Vlahovic and then he came on off the bench. I think in the next game they need to do something like start Vlahovic and Mitrovic and put the pressure on, because they got to win the next game. They got not Switzerland, the other team in the group, Cameroon. They got Cameroon. So they should be able to go out there and, in my opinion, and beat Cameroon, and they should put the pressure on and go out there and try to boss the game. So we'll see how that turns out. But, Brazil look really, really confident. And who's going to finish second in this group? Look, I still think Serbia has the team to be able to do it. I'm not convinced with Switzerland after, watching the play. Yes, they did win 1-0. And Cameroon, they got beaten by Switzerland. I'm not convinced by them. They didn't really create too much, Cameroon. And I just feel like Serbia has a better strike force up front. So, look, start Vlahovic, get the big man up there. He's an absolute unit when he plays in the Serie A. Get him the ball and let him go to work. That's what I would say.
I can't disagree with you on that. Oh, I completely agree. I was a bit dumbfounded as well. But Brazil were too good. Too much firepower even coming off the bench. They got the depth like France has from the last World Cup, even this World Cup. They got a lot of weapons coming off the bench, the French national team. So depth, consistency, chemistry, form leading into the tournament.
In the whole, any team in the tournament. Best depth.
Completely agree. I completely agree.
And you can have 5 substitutions. Mate, you can bring off 5 players off that bench that can have an instant impact. You cannot say that about any other team in the tournament. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough. I was going to say, if Benzema was playing and Kunku and stuff, France is still the second best team in this comp. Like, I don't know what everyone's talking about. They're actually the second best team in this competition. They're the second best team, and they got the second best team with depth by mile. Yeah.
And
it's Brazil and France and the 2 teams.
Pretty crazy.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's get over to Group H, and this one I really want to talk about with you. South Korea, Uruguay, absolute stinker. You weren't too happy?
Uruguay, shit. Straight up. They are terrible. Suarez leading the line. He's too old. He's too slow. He can't run in behind guys, so he's got to come get the ball at feet every time. And then, not like the Suarez we know from Liverpool and his days at Barcelona where he could dribble and get past players. Nah, he's lost a lot of pace. He's 35 years old, don't forget, Doma. And they just lacked creativity. I mean, they had a few little chances. Nunes had a chance in the first half where he fresh-aired it. It was not the easiest of chances, don't get me wrong. And then Freddie Valverde had a bit of a chance where it was a touch and finish. But it was not really, not really something that I think Uruguay is going to be able to take forward into the tournament. I don't see a lot of positives out of that game for them. That's a team in South Korea that they should beat. But South Korea gave them a lot of problems. So, look, South Korea could have done a little bit more. But, I think a draw is a fair result. A draw is a fair result. It still keeps both those teams in it. And it sets up a big game 2 between Serbia and South Korea, where I do think Serbia has... No, not Serbia. It's game 2 between South Korea
and Ghana.
Serbia. And Ghana, yes. Not Serbia. I've got the wrong group. South Korea and Ghana sets up a big game between it, and that's wide open. I mean, Ghana, they put 2 against Portugal, which we'll talk about in a sec. So can I say that South Korea can beat? I'll probably be edging Ghana just because the fact that they showed that. I mean, they didn't show much in the Portugal game up until they went behind, but then when they did go behind and they had to, actually, play and look to attack and not just sit back and park the bus, they look dangerous.
That's a fair assessment. Nice one in this game. It's the first time ever in a World Cup, pretty sure. I think it's ever. There was not one shot on target by either team.
Mate, I'll tell you what. I'm actually annoyed that I stayed up till 2 a.m. watching the damn game because it was terrible. It was terrible. I would tell you now if there was clear chances missed. There was no clear-cut chances, like no big chances missed by either team because they just didn't create. They just didn't create. Like I don't know what else to tell you, Dominic. It was just if Uruguay's going to play like that and they struggle to create against South Korea, they're shit, mate. They got no chance to go anywhere in this tournament.
Yeah, fair enough. And the last game in that Group H was Portugal versus Ghana. 3-2 winners for Portugal. What can I say in this one? They've got a lot of firepower. It's just working out how to use it correctly. Depth is a bit of a problem for Portugal. Leal had to come off the bench. They started Otavia over Leal. And funnily enough, we were talking in our group, and I just kept saying, get the best player on the team on the field, and he's going to kick a goal. Funnily enough, he comes on, he scores. Immediately, impacts the game.
32 seconds.
He's just immediately, if you watch it, he ran from his defensive half. Their midfielder tries to block him. He literally just throws him out of the way and just keeps sprinting. Ronaldo style. We've seen Ronaldo do a lot of those in his career. Just running. Got the ball, bang, put it around his body, around the keeper, bottom corner. Amazing goal.
Great finish, but let's not underestimate the pass by Fernandes.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Gave it to him on a silver platter and released the ball at the perfect time to make sure he wasn't offside. You see the replay after and he looks down the line. It was a perfect pass by Fernandes and a perfect pass for Fernandes for the second goal with João Felix, which was a great finish as well. So
he was stinking it up before he scored. João Felix, he wasn't that good. Adam, welcome. A couple of things I took away from this game. Ronaldo can still play in that system. Can he play the whole game? Probably not. He's very stiff that his goal was disallowed, the first one. I don't know if you saw it, Source. It was a 50-50. He bodied the guy over, turned around and pinged it into the top corner. And the guy, as soon as he bodied him out in the 50-50, because he was beaten, when he looked around and he saw no one was in front of Ronaldo, he just dropped to the floor as if he got hit, sucked in by the ref, disallowed the goal. Ronaldo was like, what the hell's going on? Can you check that? Like VAR? Like, I didn't even touch him. I don't know what the rule is with VAR there. If it's not it doesn't count.
The ref's a lemon, mate. That ref was terrible.
And then Ronaldo obviously gets the penalty. Just got clipped on the foot. Was it a penalty? Yes, it was, but it was very soft.
He got to the ball first, Doma. He did get to the ball first. And then
when one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced of strikers out there in Ronaldo, you know what to do in that situation. So you're looking to get the pen. So he got it. He scored it. Ronaldo I got no issue with. He's not the problem. The problem is they've got so many divers in this team, Portugal. They've got the most in the competition. They've got the biggest one in world football, which is Bruno Fernandes. I just don't think they realise the longer they stay on the floor and the extra 10 minutes you have to play at the end of every half could actually wind up making you lose the game and get you booted out of the tournament.
Well, we've seen in this tournament that the referees aren't scared to add extra time.
No, and they're not scared to add the extra time, but also give you a card at the same time. You don't want to get your 2 yellows and miss because you're time wasting. Like, I think they need to get that drum through their head. Like, Bruno and João Felix, they're just dropping on the floor when they're getting touched. I was like, you're going to cop it. And then did they? I'm pretty sure they scored their goal in added time.
No. They didn't.
Oh, no.
89th,
No, the
89th
second one.
minute.
The second one.
89th minute.
Yeah, but then they had the time at the end there, and then the keeper dropped the ball on the floor. I don't know what he was thinking. Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Have you not seen that footage? So their keeper gets the ball, Source, in the last 30 seconds of the game, and Ronaldo's on the bench going, kick it long so the ref can blow the whistle. He didn't realise that the Ghanaian striker, I think it might have been AU, I'm not sure who, was walking slowly behind the keeper from the goals. The keeper doesn't turn around to check if there's a player there, so he drops the ball on the floor to kick it along the ground, and the Ghana player runs at the front and shoots it. Lucky it hits the keeper's foot and it's rolling slowly, and Pereira gets back and he clears it off the line.
So it could have been 3-3.
It would have been 3-3.
Gee,
And they'd
that would have been
whole
a classic. That's
Ronaldo would have killed him. Ronaldo would have just
the sneaky striker. That's the Jose Alvarado style, where you just sneak up behind him.
Yes. So they almost cocked it up. Unbelievable. But they got the job done. And the last thing is, Pereira cannot be the centre-back in that football team. Cannot be the centre. He's not up for it. Too slow, no awareness, cost them both their goals. The first goal they scored, all they had to do was literally, it's crossed. All you have to do is kick it to clear it. He tried to control the ball on the 6-yard and outside the 6-yard box Source. And then the Ghanaian player just stole and scored. And in the second one, they crossed the ball in, and he's running towards goal. Running with his back to the ball, and he's left it because he thinks, it's the keeper's. Doesn't realise that the player's standing right behind him. And he just headers the ball in. What are you doing? So that's...
Get Pepe back in there.
Get him on. Get the old fella in, mate. Get him in. So, anyway, good stuff by Portugal. Can they win the tournament? Hell no, they can't win the tournament. Unless Ronaldo turns into CR7 of 2015, they've got no chance of winning. As much as I'd love to see him win it, can't win it. I'm telling you right now, can't win it. They're nowhere near France, and they're nowhere near Brazil. Nowhere near. Not even close. All right, so the game Source coming up. We head into the second round of matchups, and it starts tonight with Group B and A. So the Group B games are 9 p.m. tonight, Wales, Iran. So prediction in this one, Wales should beat Iran probably 2-0, I'm going with the scoreline here. You?
Yeah, look, I'll actually go 1-0. I think Wales will scrape a result. Iran should be able to create a bit more against a team like Wales than they did against... Actually, you know what? Iran did bang 2 against England, so I'm going to go, you know what? I reckon they're going to get a goal. They're good enough to get a goal against Wales. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wales. Wales is going to have to bang in 2, and Iran will sneak a goal. But, I'd swayed Wales to qualify from this group over the US. So I'm going to stick with Wales. They've got to win. They have to win this game. Iran is the weakest team in the group. As Wales side, the coach, the players, they got to come out with the mindset to win. Not draw, win.
Yeah. And then at 6 a.m., the other game in Group B is England versus the United States.
Yeah. England 3-1. I think they will just have too much class for the US. It'll be interesting to see how the US set up, whether they, look to set up on the counter-attack, or they try to play football. But, yeah, I think the England side is just, they'll be raring to go after that big 6 goals that they banged in against Iran, and they should be able to, potentially kick in 3 against the US. Might be 2-1, but I'm going to go with 3-1.
Very nice. And then the Group A games at midnight, we have Qatar versus Senegal.
Yeah. Qatar's shocking, so I'm going to go with Senegal. Senegal 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 for them. They had plenty of opportunities against the Netherlands. And then Netherlands play against Ecuador at 3 a.m.
I'm going 1-1 draw. Ecuador is good enough to sneak a result here. I was not impressed with the Netherlands, Doma. You know, yes, they won 2-0, but Senegal created chances. And if they just had if they had Mane in that team, a goal with a bit more quality, they would have had a goal.
They would have beaten them.
And they could have had the first goal of the game, and that changes, the game and how it's played, and it changes a lot of things. So, look, I wasn't impressed with Netherlands. If they play like they did, last game, like they did against Senegal, I mean, Ecuador, why couldn't they win? And Ecuador is a very, very, very strong defensive side. So, and they got Enner Valencia up front, who we know has quality in him, the former West Ham man. So, look, I'm going to go 1-1, and Ecuador sneaks a result here. I actually think it's going to be a Netherlands-Ecuador qualification. So, a 1-1 draw.
Nice. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for the Netherlands. All right, that sums it up, Sauce, and wraps it up. Head on over to our Insta page. Have a look at our power rankings that we done alongside Too Thick Pod. We just wanted to give them. It's our opinion. You can judge us. Go for your life. But we just thought we'd put something out there, and we'll update it as each round ends, and then we'll update it with power rankings leading into the last 16, the last 8, the last 4, and then, of course, who we think is going to win this World Cup. So go and check that out. Saucy, thank you once again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Everyone.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.